Tommy Steiner, Policy Director at Signal, joins us now for more on that. What do you know about the Chinese peace plan for Israel and the Palestinians?
Well, there are not too many details. The President Xi's office has presented the conventional three vague points. What is clear there are two aspects that should be worrying from an Israeli perspective. Number one is the insistence on the idea of indivisible security. That is that the security of one country does not come at the expense of others. And this statement, this idea was presented by the Chinese ambassador to the UN just last month, in which he equated that Israel's security interests should not come at the expense or has any precedence over the Palestinian ones, which is something else or a deviation from what was considered previously, at least by the United States and the Quartet. And the second aspect that is worrying is the dimension in which the Chinese are trying to promote and save and present the Palestinian side in a very one-sided manner against the Israeli positions, and even as engaged in rhetoric that can only be described as anti-Israeli.
I'm sorry, I'm not sure I understood the first point perfectly well. I'm not sure I understand the second point.
Well, the first point is very clear. The Chinese believe have promoted the idea of indivisible security.
No, I understand the first point very well. I'm not sure the second point is clear, neither to me nor to our viewers, so perhaps you could reiterate.
The Chinese point has been always clear that they stand by the Palestinian side in the Israeli-Palestinian talks. Now, the Chinese are trying to secure for themselves a position in the talks equivalent to the Quartet. And that is not in Israel's interest, because they represent the Palestinian interests very clearly and continuously since the 1960s.
You know, we're going to mark 30 years, though, since the Oslo Accords were signed in the White House this September. Under American brokerage, even with the Quartet being involved, there hasn't been any progress almost done for 30 years. So perhaps a Palestinian perspective can bring something new to the table.
Well, perhaps, but I doubt so. Most experts on the Israeli-Palestinian conflict believe that at this stage there is no prospect for meaningful progress on the Israeli-Palestinian end, also because of the fact, not only because of the Israeli shift of politics, but also because of the fact that the Palestinian Authority does not have a secure position among the Palestinian people. And I don't see Hamas supporting an Israeli-Palestinian peace. So the talk about any possibility for substantial progress is at this point irrelevant. So we have to try and think what the Chinese are trying to achieve here, other than real peace between Israelis and Palestinians.
We've seen China broker the relations between Iran and Saudi Arabia just this last March. Do you think that this is what mainly is on the table in the eyes of the Chinese, normalization between Israel and Saudi Arabia, in which an agreement with the Palestinians is part of?
I would seriously doubt the Chinese are entertaining that idea. The Chinese have expressed an interest in establishing a regional security architecture under their concept of the Global Security Initiative. A concept, or their idea of regional security, excludes Israel and much of the Levant from this new regional order. I don't see any Chinese interest in promoting Saudi-Israeli normalization, apart from the fact of trying to snub the United States. And I would see it rather odd that two US allies would need the Chinese to broker normalization. That would be really bizarre, to put it at least, and a wrong move from an Israeli perspective.
Okay, Tommy Steiner from Signal, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.